Hello YouTube, Beather here, back another kicking action figure review. Today's review is the Bandai Creations Godzilla 2014 from Legendary Pictures Godzilla movie. Yeah, I've been wanting this figure for a while. Finally picked it up at Toys R Us for $10. Pretty good deal. It's not really part of any wave as far as I can tell. It really just seems to be a single release figure. And that's fine, you know. Wish they'd release some of their other figures, like their 55 Anguirus and, you know, the little Godzilla they showed off, but whatever. Probably never see either of them. But yeah, we got a 2015 Godzilla, and I think that's really great. Wish they would have made Mutos. That could have been a whole wave. Godzilla and two different Mutos, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, this is actually a pretty cool figure. I feel like he's a very good size and etc. Here's a nice little body shot of him. Very pretty figure. My only complaint about this guy is that he's really you can only get him in really one pose. He's kind of in this roaring pose, and you can either have roaring pose with the arms down, or roaring pose with the arms out. And those are the poses you can get this guy in. So yeah, not real posable, but not a bad figure either. So, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and show you articulation. You saw the swivels, arm swivels, and leg swivels, which is pretty basic. But you get this really long tail, 3 points in the tail, base, midsection, and then here at the end. None of them articulated, which is too bad. I mean, it's painted fully all the way down. Lots of the Godzilla tails and Bandai Creation figures aren't painted to completion like this one is. You can see it's painted all the way down to the tip. Very nice. He's got this nice brown on his body. That whole thing goes through his whole underbelly. I love his cracked lava look. It looks really great. It's really nice. And here's his elephant feet. You know, very nice sculpting on this guy, actually. Really love the look of the spines. They look really good. I do like the big tail, but I wish I could articulate it like up some, because he takes up a lot of room on the shelf. Like, that's... And his head sculpt might be stuck in this permanent roar, but it looks good. And to be honest, his head is a little more proportional than most 2014 Godzillas I have, because I have a few different ones. And all of them have these kind of like tiny little heads. But this guy's head is nice and big, and it looks more proportionate. And you got his little gills right here or whatever. And he's got nice little painted teeth. They're individually painted, which is really nice. Little tongue right in there. And he's just got these solid yellow eyes, which actually look really good, to be totally honest. And look at that. Look at that face. Whew, a little spooky. But yeah, you know, that's detail paint and articulation. Now we get into some size comparisons. Now here's our 2014 Godzilla with some other American figures. Here on the left is the Fusion Burning Godzilla, which is the same sculpt as the re-release Burning Godzilla with the curled up tail. So, if you got that, and then, you know, same sculpt. And I think they look fine together, honestly. You know, 2014 is a little bigger, but that's totally fine by me. They'll look good in a Godzilla lineup, which is probably where I'll stick this one. I don't know. It depends on how much room he takes up. Because my NECA one I can just kind of slide into a little slot, but this guy takes up a lot of room, so I might have to display him somewhere else. And here on the right we have the Anchorage Attack Gypsy Danger, which is a NECA Pacific Rim figure. And it's obviously way too big for this Godzilla. The NECA Pacific Rim stuff is just going to be too big for your Bandai Creation 6-inch line. But, you know, that's fine. There are bigger Godzilla figures you can use with them, so it all works out. Now here's Godzilla with some imported, you know, just cheap vinyls. Here on the left we have the EX Gomora, which is an Ultraman figure. And I think they look pretty cool together. Godzilla's a little taller, but he's king of the monsters, and Gomora's just the prince. So, I think that works out pretty well. They actually look pretty cool together, to be totally honest. They both have, like, solid color eyes and stuff, so they look really cool. And then here on the right, we have the male Muto figure from Bandai Japan. And the male Muto is a little big, actually, but they still look pretty cool together. Like, I could display these guys together. It just depends on, you know, if you can fit them in a display. I need to get a new shelf, actually. I've run out of room. on my regular kaiju shelf. So, well, the kaiju shelf I have these displayed on anyways. But yeah, you know, still looks really cool. So, you know, you can display these with him, and I think they'll look just fine. And lastly, here's our 2014 Godzilla with some super articulated Godzillas. Here on the left, we have the NECA 1985 Godzilla, and here on the right, we have the SH Monster Arts Space Godzilla. Both super articulated, and I think they look good with this 2014 Godzilla. You know, they're fine. If you want an articulated 2014 Godzilla, at the time I'm filming this, there are two different Monster Arts ones that have been released, and the NECA one, and then a giant NECA one. It's like 24 inches long. So there are four to choose from, really. And they're going to be releasing an Atomic Breath one. So, you know, you have a lot of 2014 Godzillas to choose from, period, actually. But if you just want a real cheap one, that's 6-inch scale, you know, this guy works pretty well. You could always get the Bandai Japan one if you didn't want one in roaring pose, but honestly, I don't think I need the Bandai Japan one because this one is pretty cool in its own right, and I think it does work well with these figures. Even if it doesn't look like it totally fits in, scale-wise, you know, I think he looks fine. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Bandai Creations 2014 Godzilla? Well, he's a pretty cool figure. If you miss out on him, which he should be pretty easy to find, you know, just all over the place. I haven't seen him at Kmart or anything, just Toys R Us, but you can probably find him online. I hear he's on eBay for like $10 from Toys R Us and stuff. A friend of mine told me, so, you know, whatever. But if you do miss out on it, I'm sure it's going to be reissued because they reissue pretty much everything now. And it'll definitely be reissued by the time the new movie comes out, for sure. They'll reissue it then. But, you know, it's still a neat figure. I mean, if you'd rather have the NECA one, that's fine. You know, if you'd rather have the Monster Arts, that's fine. But this is just a cheap 2014 Godzilla that can fit in with your other 6-inch scale figures. So it's really nice. And it's half the price of the NECA one and a fraction of the price of the Monster Arts. So, you know, just depends on what type of stuff you like to collect. And I like to collect really whatever saves me money and it's the best quality. I kind of like a balance, you know, money and quality. So all in all, you know, I gotta give this guy 4 out of 5 stars. The only thing that's really wrong with him is that he isn't posable. And lots of Bandai Creations Godzillas and stuff are like that, but they at least have, you know, tail and head articulation, right? So I can put him in, you know, some select poses, whereas this guy, you know, he's roaring, and that's the pose he got. Which isn't that bad. But still, you know, it's all just how you look at it, I guess. But yeah, so that's it. 4 out of 5 stars, you guys. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, Flyback on Twitter, and etc. Lots of our other channels. You can check out lots of cool other nerdy stuff on that. And, you know, some not so nerdy stuff. You know, I'm trying to branch out and do lots of good things. But, yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you all so much for your support, and I'll see you all later.